Oh, it's recording. My computer is so slow. Is that better? Just move around because the sun. Anyway, my computer is very slow. It's annoying because of all the crap they put on it, and they put this Windows fucking 10 on it, whatever it is, and the computers can't cope with it. Smaller cheaper computers can't cope with it, so it goes on. Fuck you, Microsoft. That's all I've got to say. I think it's Microsoft anyway. Windows. That's Microsoft, isn't it? Anyway, Bill Gates, right? What an asshole. In my opinion, of course. What was I going to say? Yeah. Ooh. I want to talk about a few things. One is the smiley face killings and how. Listen, that stuff goes back thousands of years actually, but you can trace all of these how they place them, these murders of young men, like the firstborn males and shit like that, the top of their game and physically fit. And the reason that they like white young men, is that these assholes believe that a white soul is superior, that white people are superior in every way, which of course is absolute utter bullshit. And that's how fucking crazy these people are, the depravity of it, the crazy, it's so crazy. And it doesn't matter if everybody thinks it's bullshit, all of this sacrificial crap. It doesn't matter if everybody thinks it's bullshit. The people that are in control of this reality, or working for something that is in control of this reality, believe it to be true. And so therefore it goes on, in my opinion. So if you look at these murders, and in England we have the Manchester, what they call it, the Manchester Pusher, and it's not just Manchester, it's around the waterways in London, London canals and what have you, that people, young men, physically fit young men, end up in the water. And so therefore it's easier when I speak face to face about this, because it just is. And so, because I don't know, it just is. And so what happens is that these young men, and they're appeasing the water gods, which is Ea, which is Enlil and Ea, the two brothers, the two sides of this reality. And it goes, and the Nazis were into that shit because of all of those experiments on the twins. The twins were about it's like two. It's almost like, where you suppose legend has it, people talk about the good twin and the evil twin. Well, it's two opposing factions from the same source, from the same thing, from the same side. It's like God and the devil, Ea and Enlil. Enlil was the authoritarian. Ea was supposed to be opposed to that, but they're really like two from the same source, two opposing factions from the same source. Religion is the same. If you look at religion, it's the same. Satanism, Christianity, and so it goes on. And water is a life. It's like, it's life-giving, it's the sustainer of life. You can't have life within this reality on this planet without water. We're vertical puddles. Somebody I heard once say we're vertical puddles. We're mainly water. That's what we're made up of. Water and stardust. But anyway, so what they're doing is they're appeasing the water gods, which is basically Ea. That's what they're doing. It's just kind of as simple as that. And who was it? Gannon. I think his name was Gannon, the detective. There were two detectives in New York, but the main one was Gannon. And there was, I think, a physicist or a scientist that believed that these murders were happening certainly throughout America, and I believe globally. And it was not. They're not this is how ridiculous it gets. People say, well, it was serial killers. It was a load of serial killers that banded together. No, it was far too slick for that. Far too slick for that. I've been looking into serial killers, murderers. It's unbelievable to me that people think they're going to get away with stuff. It's like their mindset is unbelievable. It's like they think they're above the law. Well, this is what's interesting about serial killers. Many serial killers say it's not them. It's something else that's operating at the moment when they murder. A lot of it's to do with trauma-based people and what have you. But here's the thing. It's almost like something else is operating there, and it's something else that thinks it's above the law. Because a lot of these murders are unbelievable. It's like you look into murders. It's horrible actually looking into this stuff. But the thing is that you listen to the transcripts of people, and I've been listening to interrogation tactics by the police, which are very clever actually. The way that the police interrogate these people, they have tactics. Like, it's not just about good cop and bad cop. They have tactics, and it's like clever the way that they wear people down, which is basically what they do, to the point where they corner these people. It's like, checkmate, you know, we've got the evidence on this and this and this, what you're going to tell us now? And so the people at that point, so often they confess, not always, but often they confess. And it's like these people that, well, it's like they think they're above the law. So it's something within them that thinks that they're above the law. And it's unbelievable to me. I don't know. It's just weird. It's like something else is in there with them. Do you know what I mean? Doing this shit. And I'm not alleviating any responsibility of the person that did these heinous acts. Not at all. I'm just saying it's very strange how that happens. And I did a lot on that a long time ago, but it's just weird. Anyway. Getting back to the point, I'm absolutely sure, I feel absolutely sure that what happened with Jack the Ripper was an organisation. It wasn't one single person. And I know I've got a guy on here that sometimes listens to me, I don't know if he still listens to me, that did a lot of work with, and he believes it's one person. I respect his work, and I respect the way that he does things and the way that he thinks. But here's the thing, I truly, and I'm not wanting to upset anyone by saying this, but I believe it was an organisation. Jack the Ripper was not a single entity. It was an organisation of people, in my opinion. And there was a number of murders that they thought was Jack the Ripper, but they couldn't quite, I don't think they could pin on Jack the Ripper as who knows who Jack is. It's an entity, it's an organisation of people, in my opinion, just like the Smiley Face killings. But a year or two before all of the Jack the Ripper murders came out, which was in the shape of a rough pentagram, it's still a pentagram. You had the murders that were similar and were placed in the River Thames, which is water. A lot of these men are placed in water, and they found out that they think these men have been held captive. But the important thing that is the bodies have been placed in water, like offerings, like appeasing an ancient belief system, an ancient religion. It's sacrificial, kind of, you know. And brain function has something to do with it. Like the angels appeared to the women because the women thought with the right side of their brain. They operated with the right side of the brain. I'm not saying men don't have the ability to do that, but women were more adept, I suppose, at the time, or at that kind of, that way of thinking. So you have gay men who, and I'm not being discriminatory, I can't say that word, but you know what I mean. Gay men, scientists believe their brains function, parts of their brain function are very similar to women's brains. So you have men who are often picked off in the gay community, particularly in Manchester. It happens in the gay community, apparently. it's just it's brain. It has something to do with brain function too, and I'm not quite sure what that is. And it's to do with the way that genius and autistic, on the people on the autistic spectrum and what have you, their brains function in a similar way and good at problem solving and what have you. So it's got something to do with that too, and I'm not quite sure what it is, but I believe that they are making offerings to the water gods, and I made a video about that long time ago. I can't find it for some reason, because I uploaded it to my website and I couldn't afford to keep up the video. I uploaded independent videos to my website through an app, and I couldn't afford to keep it up.